Welcome back to the Just God podcast. This is episode 29. And before we start, I just want to point out that you guys can obviously tell we're not using our new microphones. We're using the old ones, the ones in the old podcast, because our power supply didn't work for the mixer, so we can't even use it. So, yeah. But anyways, these are our special guests, Megan and Bella. Bella's already...
Hi.
I should have waited. But Bella's already been on the podcast, and that was the New Year's episode. And this is her sister, Megan. She's been wanting to be on the podcast since like forever.
She wanted to be on the podcast before Bella.
Yeah. We've been trolling her like...
Yeah.
We actually never knew you wanted to be
I
on
gave
the
up on the
podcast.
dream.
Yeah.
You had to build anticipation.
So this topic is about patience.
Let's not talk about patience, okay?
But yeah, we were talking about how we're gonna start off this episode. We have no idea how we're gonna start it off.
Yeah.
Yeah, but we're just gonna jump right into it. So, Megan, we're gonna hear her testimony.
Yep.
Yeah.
Okay. So I guess I'll just start
You want to
from,
count
the
down?
beginning.
3, 2, 1.
Okay. So when I was younger, or like right when I was born, I got adopted at 18 months old because my birth parents couldn't financially support me. And so I always grew up kind of looking for that identity because they didn't. I was told when I was a kid that they didn't want me, but I learned later because it was like a financial burden on them. But I grew up with that. And then from like 3rd grade to 8th grade, I was bullied because of how I looked. And so that just added on to like, I didn't know who I was and I wasn't confident in who I was. And I had a bunch of insecurities from that. And then, oh my goodness. I had grown up in church, but I had kind of just done like the religious practices of it, just going to church, praying, but I didn't really like read my Bible or have a relationship with God. I just did what they told me to do because I just thought that that was what I was supposed to do. I didn't know that I was supposed to have this relationship because I didn't really feel it. So I lived in that, and I said that I was saved for a really long time, but deep down I knew that I wasn't because I didn't go home and read my Bible and have that commitment to Him. I just said, oh, I'm a Christian and I don't drink and I don't smoke and stuff, so that means that I'm good. But I lived a good moral life, but I didn't really have that relationship with Him. Yeah. But about last year, I realized that, because my sister got saved and she was like outwardly expressive of it, and she had like the fruits to back it up. And I was like, I don't have those fruits. I don't feel different. And they always talked about, Pastor Matthew always talked about that you needed to feel different when you got saved. And I never did. And so I knew that I wasn't saved and that I really needed to have a relationship with Him. And I didn't need to just follow the rules and judge other people because they weren't, when I knew that deep down I wasn't doing what I was supposed to. And so I worked through all of the trauma and I guess physical stuff like the anger and the depression and anxiety that I had built up for a while. And I eventually got to the point that I am now, where I've dealt with all of that, but I'm still dealing with, like praying for patience and stuff like that.
Wow. Yeah.
That's funny that you say how you saw my outward expression, because I know I sort of talked about it on my podcast with them, but the reason that I got like the encouragement to push out of my comfort zone and give my life to Jesus was because of you and because of your family. And again, I also said it in my podcast, but this is my sister Megan. I live with her. I have for 4 years.
Yeah, I think 4 years.
Wow.
Since like 9th grade.
Yeah, that is insane. But her and her family have been absolutely lifesavers to me. They are the reason that I am alive right now, and they're precious. And I just think it's funny how we kind of bounce back off of each other. Like, I don't know, like I got saved because of you and because of how much I saw her. I mean, even though it wasn't like how you say your heart posture wasn't in the right place, I still saw you trying.
Yeah.
And I wanted that so bad. And
Yeah.
I'm beyond blessed that I've had Megan to fall back on. I feel like when I'm down, Megan's always up. And when Megan's down, I'm always up. So we can just lean on
we
each
just
other.
like complete each
Yeah.
other in that way.
Yeah.
Unlike you. It's fine.
Yeah.
Dang, that's crazy.
Yeah, you're replaced.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
replaced you. I
My
was the
bad.
OG.
Yeah, I respect it. I respect it. I respect it.
They're dating, by the way. For the people that don't know.
Yeah.
Surprise! The first
Surprise,
time
me and
I
Megan
was
are me and Megan.
on- me and Megan.
Let's clear that up. Let's clear that up. Yeah.
Me and Megan aren't dating. Me and Brock are dating.
Yeah.
But Megan's my true soulmate.
This is the meaning of love part
Exactly.
2.
Yeah.
Meaning of love part 2.
Yeah.
Don't date your sister.
Okay.
Anyways.
What's the next question?
The next part.
Next
We don't
question,
really
next
talk. We just
We
kind
don't
of
really-
talk.
yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
We go
Our
back-
podcast was just like
ChatGPT.
ChatGPT. What is like? I think it was on Zach's or whatever.
Yeah.
We like said the same question like 5 times.
Yeah.
I was like, I think we already answered that.
Yeah. It
I'm
was more
scared
like
of
a worksheet.
ChatGPT.
You're scared of
I don't
Yeah,
ChatGPT?
get
she
I'm
hates
scared.
AI.
I'm
Why?
scared of ChatGPT. I don't know. You ask it questions and it can like tell you about yourself.
Do you
Have you
think
ever
I've
asked-
heard that people say that AI is the Antichrist?
Really?
Yeah.
How
Like-
did we get on this subject?
Like
No.
I don't know. I've heard people say it. It just well, like parts of it can be because I know like in Revelation talks about like or well, I don't know if it there's like a payment like they put something inside it like after like
Yeah, they
tribulation
mark
and stuff.
you.
Yeah, and people think it's like a chip or something. I don't really know,
That's probably true. Yeah.
but I mean, who knows?
Yeah.
I don't know, but
I'm
AI,
not a Revelation nerd.
They
I don't know
have
nothing.
actual robots now, like that, and they have like skin,
Oh yeah, I've seen
I
those. Yeah,
swear.
I've seen those.
and they
It's like Terminator.
yeah, for real,
it's creepy.
for real.
Are you a robot?
Yeah.
Yes.
You sure?
She is a robot. Confirmed.
Yeah.
Don't ask me to revert to factory setting, or I will.
Yeah, we
But-
like no. Like we've known you guys
I
for
want to
4
ask you
years.
guys questions, is what I'm trying to say, but I don't know what to ask you because I feel like,
We've known each other for like
This is like the main
Yeah.
friend group.
yeah, so we're all in the same senior class. There's
Yeah.
only like 10 of us.
yeah.
So,
Us just being here is just like freaking Pablo out. He doesn't know what to do.
Yeah, we never like we really never like I don't know. I
it's
guess I
just
don't
like
remember.
homeroom class.
Yeah, we used to never like I guess like do something like this.
Yeah.
We all just kind of saw each other at school,
Yeah.
so it's a little like different.
I'm about to
I
take
guess-
over the podcast.
Yeah.
What's y'all's favorite color?
You're gonna ask us a question.
I don't know. It is cool though, because we all knew each other when we were freshmen, and none of us were in the same position that we are now. We're all so different, and it's weird to see us come from like completely different backgrounds, and then we're here in one room talking about God.
Well, we never even talked to y'all.
Never.
We were
Y'all was like
all in
your
our
own
own
thing, and
bubble.
then we was all like I don't know.
yeah. It's crazy.
Yeah.
Y'all like the girl versions of me and Papa.
Never.
I think that's an insult to Megan. If I'm the girl version of you,
No, me and Pablo are kind of alike.
In some ways, I
How?
feel like I don't
In
know.
some
are you
ways.
messy?
He's never on time. I'm
Are
never
you
on
messy?
time.
It was one time, okay?
Yeah.
I was like 2 minutes late. She's like, "You're never on time. You're never on time."
Yeah.
We bully each other, so.
Pablo's
Yeah.
gonna be the latest to graduation.
Oh,
Probably.
maybe.
Yeah, I'm late though.
Bro, I wish the mics were working. Like,
Yeah, I have to keep bringing it back up.
yeah,
I'm just so used to just like, I'm like,
I don't like having like hold the mics like this. Well, we had to tell them like don't twist the back of it
yeah.
too.
I wanted to. Are you holding the back of it? I
We're holding,
wanna
like, the
twist
bar
You're
it.
not allowed to
this.
touch the back of it.
I touched the back of it.
Okay, that's probably.
Right. But last
Tried to do
podcast we talked
ASMR.
about the pop up shop. Like,
Oh, yeah.
that was like the main.
That's another thing.
Topic.
I'm like, figuring how to title the podcast because we don't do it topic based.
Yeah.
So I just like find what we talked about the most and make that the title. So
Yeah.
that one is called like pop up store. It feels like, you know, like how 90s shows, like every episode was like a specific title.
yeah.
Like if the thing had to like revolve around like, I don't know, a grocery cart, they would call it grocery cart or something like that.
yeah, I
That's
know.
what
Like, I
feel
know.
like
Like
I'm
Liv and
very-
Maddie, it's like It was like Halloween. Is like Halloween or something like that? I don't know.
Yeah.
Something like
Halloween.
Yeah.
Just God pop-up shop. Huh?
yeah.
No, just I don't know.
But I didn't realize how much we talked about it. Like, I don't know.
yeah.
Pablo, have you talked about your testimony?
My testimony?
Yeah.
I think so. Was it Reagan's?
I think so. Let's hear it again.
I don't even like I don't know because I feel like I don't have like a specific moment. It's just like sprinkled throughout, I guess. But I guess I was gonna talk about this later, but so I'm working on a new T-shirt. I'll show you guys the pictures.
Promotion.
And by the time we release this by next Friday, the clothes will already drop by then.
Ad break.
Yep.
Yeah.
Ad break.
Hashtag ad.
Call
Hashtag ad.
1-800-ascenders.com to get. So these are the shirts. They're called Praise.
I knew you were gonna do.
Ooh, good.
Yeah. So those are the new
like
shirts.
that.
I'll show you.
I'll put it on the screen.
I showed you.
No, he did.
Oh.
I think it was a miss.
No,
No, in health
before.
class.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
But so I had this other idea. I'm gonna put this. I don't know what. I just like. But I had this other idea for a T-shirt, and it was like I'm still gonna work on it, but it was the Devil's a Liar one. And when I told my mom, she literally just said like, "You could do better," like just designing wise. And I was like, I don't know. This one took me like a week or so to design. I like this one. I don't think I want to change it. But then my mom was like, I guess I kind of like convinced her. She was like, yeah, I guess it's fine. Then I had to convince myself because I was like, I don't really like. I like the design, but I want to release something that's personal to me, something that I feel like, well, I guess like other people will find relatable, and something you talked about the last podcast was that night at Pastor Matthew's church.
Oh, this and not.
Yeah, so I got invited to record their like worship night, and my plan was to just get there, film some content, get out, edit, just like that post. But towards like the end, when everyone went to altar, as I was recording, I was just like, it didn't feel right to just be the one recording. I felt like I needed to like join them and stuff. So I went there, and I used this like phrase, like I put my camera down, I went up to the altar, and I put my hands up, and it was like, because during that time I was going through some like really heavy stuff, and it just felt like I like let go of that burden.
Mhm.
And that's kind of when I was like thinking of a new design, that's like what I thought of that night. I was like, how can I put that night into a T-shirt? And so I decided to put like the words praise, and it's like there's people, right? There's people on their knees. Like it's kind of hard to tell. It's just like very messy drawing, but it's people with their hands up, people on their knees, people dancing, and it's all around the world praise because they're praising the Lord. And I just decided to put that on a T-shirt. So
That's cool.
That stuff is like, I definitely want to imply that story because I want it to be more than just a cool design, because I feel like there's a bunch of Christian clothing brands, so I want to be like, how can I make it more than just a design? I want to put like a story.
Yeah.
So that night, because if my mom didn't tell me that, I would have released this other design of shirts that I didn't feel connected to. I didn't feel like it was relatable. It was a cool design, but other than that, it didn't really have any meaning to it. So I decided to just make something that I felt connected to.
Mhm.
And they're dropping next Friday.
Hey.
Yeah.
Yay.
Hashtag ad.
The
That
Lord
host-
often speaks through random people like that. Like, I find all the time whenever I'm, like, struggling with something, and I won't even voice it, but then Megan, like, a day later will end up talking about it, and I'm like, who told you that? And I never really tell her when it happens because I don't want to mess anything up. But
Yeah.
the Lord works in mysterious ways.
I had like the night before or the day before I got called to preach. We did like this little devotion thing after the service, and my youth pastor, like the entire day, I was dealing with like I got to answer the call, and then I didn't after the service. And he brought up, he was like, I feel like there's someone in this room that hasn't accepted something yet. I think just one person or maybe two. And I was like, oh gosh. And then my mom said something, and I was like, okay, it has to be like, because I wanted a confirmation about it. But yeah. It's crazy how God works because some people can say something random and it goes with what you're going through.
Yeah, and the night before that worship night, I literally was praying like, "Show me something tomorrow." Because I was like, I knew I was just there to like film, but I wanted to be more than that. And then that whole experience happened.
Yeah.
So it was like really cool.
Yeah.
But
Yeah, you talking about you getting called in to preach. Me and Megan, even since after my podcast, me, Megan, and Brock, was it just us from our school? And Connor.
And Cameron.
Winterfest. We went to Winterfest.
And Cameron.
Oh,
And
Cameron.
Matthew and Joe.
And Matthew and Joe.
And Sadie.
And Sadie.
doing the
That
proper
was it.
Oh,
shots.
wow.
That was it. Yeah.
Okay.
I think that was it.
That's a lot more people than I thought. Anyways, we all went to Winterfest with Pastor Matthew's church, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. And me, Megan, and Brock almost didn't go. We were asked probably
Hundreds.
like 3.
Probably like 2 weeks beforehand.
Ours was like 3 days.
Yeah, we were
Really?
asked like the Monday before.
Oh,
Yeah. And we
Mine
were
was
like,
like 2 weeks, I think.
I don't know about that. But we ended up going somehow. And me and Megan, I think my realization was at Winterfest when I realized I was kind of called to preach. Not preach, but in the ministry. Probably in more of a teaching standpoint. Like I'm drawn to our generation. I think that with my specific testimony, I have a lot of weight for girls who are struggling with addiction and things like that. But Megan also feels like she's called in the ministry. And I think it's cool how, as we've grown up, we've all like realized our different paths that we're going down, like Brock with preaching, me with some sort of ministry, and you with some sort of ministry. And do you want to talk about how you were called in the ministry? I don't know. Mine's just like a random night. I was like, man, like I can't see my life without this. So I was like, well, if I can't see my life without it, then I better go for it. So
Yeah, I didn't know what I wanted to do after college for a really long time. I didn't know if I wanted to be like a doctor or if I wanted to I think I wanted to do finance for a while.
yeah,
'Cause
she's
I was-
mega smart.
Because I wanted to
Mega
do something
brilliant.
with math.
What's
But-
your greatest science?
But nothing really like was drawing me, and I didn't really have a passion for it. I just liked it, and I didn't know where God was leading me to go because I wanted him to like show me what he wanted me to do. And I always pray that I would be a vessel that God would use and that he would do whatever he wants to do through me. And the strength to stand, not strength to stand. What was it? Was it actually strength to stand? Or was it Winterfest?
Winterfest.
Okay, Winterfest.
But y'all went to Strength to Stand like
Yeah.
I went to Strength
Yeah.
to Stand, and that's when I started to really feel like the Lord was pulling me into ministry because they were like, does anyone really feel called to ministry? And it was like the first time that you think about getting saved. It was like your heart was pounding, and I was
yeah.
like burning alive, and I was like, I really
Yeah.
need to do this. But then Winterfest kind of just sealed the deal for me, and I was like, yeah, he's really calling me to do something in the ministry, probably with kids, because I do Maker's Child and I do Awana on Wednesday nights, and I really, really enjoy kids, and like they're just energy. You kind of just feed off of people's energy, and those kids are just like happy all the time, and they're
Yeah.
just so much fun to be around. And I feel like making an impact in their lives early on could help them later in life, because that's kind of the age in which I fell off from Christianity, because I had learned that I was adopted in 3rd grade, and that shaped the rest of my life up until the point that I had gotten saved. And if I can impact kids at that young of an age, then that's what I want to do. And
Yeah.
that led me into pursuing to want to be a kindergarten teacher as well. I just really have a heart for like kids in that area.
Yeah.
That's cool.
Yeah. I still don't know what I want to do after high school. I have no clue. I'm just living by the, I don't know. There's like a saying, living by the seat of your pants. What? I don't know.
I think you just made that say.
Hey,
A seat in your pants.
I always say living on a prayer.
Living on a
Yeah.
prayer. Living on the edge of your seat. No, that's
what's,
It's
There's
living
a
on the
song
edge,
called
not
that.
living on the edge of your
living
seat.
on the edge.
That's a different
Or
phrase.
like-
there's a
I'm on
song
the edge
called
of my
that.
seat, or
Live-
living on the edge.
There's something with pants. I don't know.
What?
No,
there
Edge
is
of My
pants.
Seat by Toby Mac is a song.
There is something about pants. You're flying by the
Flying by the
Flying by-
seat of your pants.
no,
Yeah,
by the
something
seat of
like
your
that.
pants. Or
Yeah,
Seat.
seam.
Yeah,
of your
seam,
pants.
seam,
Flying
yeah.
by the seam of your
I've
pants.
Yeah.
never heard the saying.
You've
It's
never heard
not
that.
sad.
It's probably like a southern state.
You
'Cause
can go
Yeah.
your
people
whole
in the
life without
South
knowing
just
that.
be making up random crap.
Just go ask your Mimo. she probably knows about it.
My Mimo? She
Yeah.
only speaks Spanish.
Oh.
She's not Southern.
I don't know. Anyways, but yeah.
This is the end of the podcast.
But I didn't know the Ascenders thing was like something. Because you showed me the design, I had no idea that it was connected to you. Like one of your like,
Yeah.
but it's a good design though. Low key.
Yeah.
I like it when things like that have a deeper meaning. Like, were we all at I Can Only Imagine?
Yeah.
That,
The
Yeah.
whole school
Yeah,
was-
the
Yeah.
movie. Yeah.
Yeah, we went to see I Can Only Imagine 2 at the movies with our school on Friday. And it talked about the song Even If. I mean, there was a lot of other stuff that went into the movie. But that song, Even If by Mercy Me, has such a strong backstory.
Mhm.
It's such a deep backstory. And it's really cool to see stuff like that and realize that it does have a personal and deeper meaning behind it. It gives it more like truth, like heart behind it.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. That movie surprised me.
I cried the whole time.
I didn't
Same.
cry one bit.
Y'all have no heart.
I didn't cry.
It was so
sad though, but that's
Not
like,
even when he was in the hospital bed. Am I spoiling?
I usually don't like. I don't know. I don't really cry during movies. It takes me. It has to be like a lot on me for me to cry.
It was so
Like-
sad.
No, it was
Especially
it was a really good movie.
But it was really good though. Like,
I almost cried towards the end. Like when he was singing it.
I was sucking in the tears.
Yeah.
Yeah, y'all were just
I
trying to
felt
act
goosebumps,
manly.
though.
Yeah, it was crazy.
I think it left a really big impact on my life, and I didn't think that it was going to, because I didn't even want to go to the movie in the first place. It's kind of like you with Winterfest, is you didn't even want to go,
Yeah.
but I think that the devil has a way of like telling us not to go to things because he knows that it's going to impact our life. Because I've probably struggled with depression for most of my life, and I always like. And Miss Kaylee was even talking about it one time in class of like, we keep ourselves busy, but it doesn't really hide what's going on in our heart.
Yeah.
What is it? Busy hands. I can't remember what it was. It was like busy hands hide a hurt heart or something
Yeah.
like that.
Yeah.
But I really felt that deep because like even trying to get on the podcast, it was really hard because I have such a busy schedule. And I found that because I was keeping myself so busy, I wasn't allowing myself to really feel those emotions. And I was kind of pushing it down. But like seeing how the singer in Mercy Me, that he was using his music as an escape to what was really happening in his life, it really dug deep. And I remember like not wanting to be around people the entire rest of the day because I was running from the fact that my life was the exact same. And that I really needed to go home and lay that down of like, even if God doesn't move, like it said in the song of like, God, if you choose to leave mountains immovable, that you still sing, it's well with my soul. And I had been mad about God for a really long time for not moving. I felt like that mountain was always going to be immovable, that I was never going to get over it. I'm not going to cry. That it was always going to be unmovable. But even if I never move that mountain, that God is still good and that God is still working in my life no matter what.
Yeah.
And that I'm still going to praise him no matter what, because it's not about me. It's about what he wants to do through me and what he wants to use in this situation. And you can always find, like how he wrote in X, you can always find something to be grateful for.
Yeah.
100%. That reminds me of Kaylee also talked about in our Bible class about how if everything you had was taken away and the only thing you had left was Jesus, would you still praise him? Would you still have enough with him? And would that be enough to keep you going? And would y'all's relationship between you and God, would it really be where you want it to be? Because we find ourselves so busy in our lives, and we often put God on the back burner and realize, well, wow, if all this stuff was taken away, where would me and God be at right now?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's really prevalent in our generation. I think our generation itself has been attacked because he sees the fire we have for God.
Yeah.
We are I don't know the statistics on it, but Gen Z is one of the most Christian generations by far.
Yeah.
And you think Satan's not going to try to do something about that? That's why we have so much mental illness, addiction, suicide. I mean, really, that's why it's so important to always find time for him in everything. If you make time for him, he'll make time for you.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah.
I didn't realize, talking about the Only I Can Imagine, is that what it's called? The movie? Yeah. I didn't realize the story behind it as well. Because I heard the story behind it, but I didn't realize it was like he went through so much trauma and then wrote a song like that. Like, I don't know. I didn't know the story behind it like
Think
that.
about how many lives it touched.
Yeah, that's true.
That's our dad's favorite song. I can only imagine. He said whenever he listens to it, it literally brings him to tears. And that's why also I find it when you're in trials to always think about the good that it could come out of, like what you can get out of it. Because think about those trials that the guy from I Can Only Imagine went through. Well, yeah, that was really hard for him, but he made this song that touched so many people's lives and that encourages so many people. Like, God can use literally anything, even your lowest moments.
Yeah.
He's just too good.
But I remember telling Pablo, like, I think it was like before the movie was like rating the movie before we watched it, and I was like 6. I was like 6.5. But it was actually really good though. Like, it definitely had a true meaning, like really good meaning behind it. And I didn't even see the first one.
Yeah, me either. Can we talk about how they sat on the front row of the movie?
They said
That is so
directly
weird.
We was in the
front.
movie.
No, y'all had to like do this to watch the movie.
I walked in, they were already sitting in the front row, and I was like,
No, that's the only seats open.
The top 2 rows were open, and y'all chose the front row.
Well,
We
they
wanted
wanted
to-
to fit their like.
Yeah, we tried to fit our
whole
whole
clan.
group.
Their
Yeah,
clan.
we tried to fit our group in. We should have got there earlier, but it's all right.
yeah.
People were like, safe seats, safe seats. I was like,
And then they were like, boys on one side, girls on the other.
I guess we could talk about the color run we did. Well, me and Megan did
All right, guys,
That was
come
fun.
on now.
Okay. You could just be
yesterday.
Yes,
I feel like I was seeing I feel like I seen the Lord yesterday while running. Literally.
No, it was so much fun.
No, I was dying.
It's 2 different stories.
It was so much fun. I was dying.
I was like, I was like alone in the wilderness running. Just like,
I walked the entire time because I had
you had a
3
game.
basketballs.
Yeah.
About 3 basketballs. 3 basketball
She
games
was
to
running with
play
3
after that.
basketballs.
Yeah. I had like a tournament.
She's literally on a time slot right now. We have to get her out of here before the crack of dawn.
I'm booked. I'm a celebrity, guys.
Yeah.
I was at work.
No,
just
while
like
running
breathe
though, I was
easy.
like, I was dying. I'm still dying. My legs are like killing me. I feel like someone like shot me in my legs. Just-
It's the Lightning McQueen where his wheels like pop out. Pop.
No, but I thought it was fun. Other than I had contacts in and I was walking to get my number, and this random lady had this spray bottle and she just sprayed it directly in my contact, and I had to walk
She's like,
back. She just went crazy with it.
Yeah, I remember I was like in the start line with like there was like 7 other young kids, and it was just like me and Connor. Me
Yeah,
and
y'all
Connor
full
was taking it
sprinted.
serious. But they gave you this like little color powder, and you throw it up, and I threw it up, and it all just went in my eyes, and I was like
Really?
seeing like tint blue like the entire time.
What?
Yeah.
Oh my goodness.
I don't know. There's yeah.
These eyes, bro.
My face was like
Everything was happening in
I
Edward's
was
eyes.
like I got attacked by a Smurf.
Yeah, when he came back and we were taking a picture, he looked like this. He was like,
Yeah.
and he was covered in color.
And then
Like,
after
just
after you finished the
bunch of
race, I was like, "Do you want a donut?" And I was like, "Bruh."
No.
The last thing I want is a dildo right now.
Give me my life back.
Maybe I'm glad I didn't go.
Yeah, it was
Well,
like
I didn't
the
have a
trenches
choice.
of World War II.
Yeah, bro, it was. I like if I would have walked it, it would have been nice. But
Yeah, it was fun.
I'm competitive. I like to win, even though I didn't
Whatever.
win.
He's the most competitive
won?
person I've ever met.
Brax did.
Really?
Yeah, I came second though. But all glory to God. I needed him.
I can only imagine if I would have worn the
I
race.
can only
I
imagine.
needed him in that moment. I'm not gonna lie. I was dying.
I like how you kept saying even if you're like when you were talking. You know, like Invincible. How every time they say the word Invincible, it's just like a title card. It's like that. Every time, every time you say even if, it's just a song starts.
No,
playing.
what's crazy is Pastor Matthew talked about that before we even watched the movie. That like he brought up even
He had a
if.
prophecy.
Because he was talking about his
He always has prophecies.
he was talking about his he was like I think Wednesday night he did like the devil's mind games. I could probably be like butchering the title, but he talked about how the devil uses like what ifs. And then like later in the week or earlier in the week, Brax talked about he brought up like a question. It was Monday, I think. It was about Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego. And then he tied that in. And they said, like, before they were about to go into the furnace or whatever, they were like, even if our God doesn't save us, we won't bow down to your gods or whatever. But I thought that was really cool. Like, when they said it in the movie, I was like, holy crap. I was like, that's wild.
Yeah.
It is.
With my soul.
I didn't realize how much like a movie though could have an impact. But The Forge also did that. Like The Forge was like really what woke me up.
I've never seen that.
The Forge is really good. I remember Pastor Matthew showed it to us last year.
No, your mom did a study about don't let the enemy have a seat at your table.
Oh yeah.
So she
yeah,
did it
yeah.
like way before Pastor Matthew. So she was like prophesying. Like
Yeah, so
3 years
actually,
ago.
That's
Miss
crazy.
Heaton is the
So-
OG.
Well, I actually went to that Bible study.
Oh,
She showed us that.
That don't let an enemy sit at your table.
Mhm.
that was
You
good.
went to it?
Yeah, she like one night like I don't think our youth pastor was there, or we were looking for one, and my parents did like the youth for a little bit, and she did that Bible study.
Oh, I thought you meant like you actually went to.
Oh no, not.
I don't even know what his name was.
His like Louis Giglio, or whatever.
Louis Giglio.
Yes.
I like his
Yeah,
last name.
yeah.
Shout out.
Yeah.
Shout out Louis Giglio.
Yeah, I really liked that one. It was based off of the Psalm 23. The
Yeah,
Lord, the Lord
yeah.
is my shepherd. And it was talking about, I really liked how it talked about when the Lord prepares a table for us in the presence of our enemies. He doesn't get rid of the enemies. He just meets us where we are. And he sits a table before us and he gives us everything we need, despite the trials and the struggles that we may be going through.
Yeah, that's true.
That's true.
That's true.
I remember that probably the deepest like trench that I ever went through is when I got really bad acne. I don't even know what it was from. I think I had just used something that had really irritated my skin, and my skin's really sensitive. And it's really hard to talk about because a lot of it is a blur. Because I don't know, it's like your brain tries to, like, what is it called? Like, get rid of
Yeah, it
your
tries
bad
to get
memories
rid of the
because
bad.
it doesn't want you to remember.
Yeah.
So I don't remember a lot from it, but I just remember that was probably the deepest my depression went, and it got so bad that I had to go to therapy for it, and I had to get on a lot of medication. And I just didn't ever want to get out of bed because the medication also made me really sleepy and really tired. And so I didn't play any sports. I quit basketball because it was around my 10th or 11th grade year. I didn't play basketball that year, and everybody was like, why aren't you playing basketball? I was like, I didn't want to say, oh, I have depression, because that's a weird topic to bring up to a random,
Yeah.
Yeah.
a random
I think I remember
kid's
asking you.
dad.
I remember asking you why you weren't playing basketball. Yeah.
Yeah, and I was just like, oh, I'm just not feeling it this year. Sorry. And then I remember I got into a lot of relationships that weren't good for me, and I got really dependent on them, and I tried to get my joy and happiness from those people, but all they wanted to do was hurt me. And so I wrote a lot of letters because I didn't want to end my life, but I didn't think that I had like any other option because I didn't think I had like anything better to do with my life. So I do remember writing a lot of letters. Uh, but I never went through with it because I knew that if God had brought Elijah out of whatever he went through when he was being attacked by Jezebel and King Ahab, that he had a plan for me. And I kind of relied a lot on his story because it's like you can be really connected with God because Elijah was, talking to God. He was verbally getting responses from God, and you can still get to those points of you just don't want to be on earth. And it wasn't like I don't want to be here anymore. It was I would rather be with God than be here with all these people.
Yeah.
But I just had to learn that if God can come to this earth and suffer so many things on my behalf, that I can live one more day. And I can take one more step.
Yeah, that's good.
And once you take that step, once you live one more day, you find things to be grateful about. You find people in your life that bring you up and don't tear you down. Because the people that you're around do matter.
100%.
And the people that you surround yourself do matter. They always tell you you are who you surround yourself with, and you never really believe that. You're like, oh no, it doesn't matter. But like if you're around a bunch of people who are depressed, you're gonna be depressed.
Yeah.
And if you're around people who smoke and vape, you're gonna smoke and vape because eventually you're not gonna have anything else to fall back on. Jesus sat with sinners, but he wasn't a sinner.
Yeah.
He preached to them. He didn't indulge in what they were doing.
Yeah.
And eventually, when I got a group of people that weren't in the same position that I was, it started to help me like build myself back up. And once I started to read my Bible daily and not just when I felt like it really helped because you have to do it even when you don't feel like it.
Yeah.
You can read one verse that will help you because it's feeding your spirit. And just being like, oh, I don't want to read it today because I love God, but I'm not going to read my Bible today because I just don't feel like it. That's not loving God because God says in this, if you love me, obey my commandments. And like one of his like main commandments is read my word, talk to me, love me.
Yeah.
And loving him is having a relationship with him. So once I started to do that, then I started to have my spirit filled and I started to rely on his strength and his joy. And so it's been easier since then, not relying on my own strength and relying on his.
Yeah. Sometimes a lot of people get caught up in the feeling over it, and I totally have always got caught up in not feeling things. I always wanted to feel that rush or that peace, but sometimes God withholds that feeling so you can rely on faith.
Yeah.
And there's this Bible verse in Isaiah, I think it's Isaiah 7:9. It says, if you do not stand firm in your faith, you will not stand at all. And that verse really got me through a lot of hard times because I have never really had a lot of feeling most of the time. And I know sometimes I do, but my faith journey is my faith.
Yeah.
And it is not my goosebumps in worship. It is not my joy all the time because, yeah, God does give us joy from the Lord. And yes, that is our strength. But sometimes when we don't feel that, those are the moments that we're supposed to grow the most. And those are the moments that we do grow the most in, is when we choose to not rely on our own flesh man, but rely on our spirit man. Because like Megan said, when you do choose to read the Bible when you don't feel like it, yeah, your flesh isn't getting anything out of it, but your spirit man is getting fed even when you don't feel it. And that's when you get so much out of it.
Yeah. I think that's something I struggle with sometimes is like I'm not very consistent with God. I feel like sometimes I'm like in and out of it. Like sometimes, like I have the urge to like read my Bible and stuff, and then other days I just like it's too late. I'll just
Yeah.
I'll just do it the next day, or whatever. But
Yeah. I definitely have had those moments before. But like Pastor Matthew always says, since y'all going off Kaylee's quotes, you gotta hop up Pastor Matthew a little bit. But we talked about it last podcast too.
Kaylee's our girl. What can we say?
I think
What
we
can you
always
say?
bring up y'all bring up Kaylee's, we bring up Pastor Matthew's. It's like I don't know, it's kind of crazy. But Connor talked about it last podcast how Pastor Matthew always says, and it's a quote that I don't think any of us guys will ever forget that he said was that reading the word or spending time with God starts out as a discipline, and discipline is like it's a hard thing to do. Like with sports,
So hard.
like with sports, I mean, you got to discipline yourself to practice. You can't just go into a game and expect like without no practice that you're going to perform well. I mean, maybe if you're like some kind of crazy dude, I don't know.
You
But
can't expect a plant to grow without water.
yeah,
Amen. Thank
All
you
right.
guys for watching the Just Got podcast. Like and subscribe.
Like and subscribe.